I've been doing YouTube for over 12 years, and every single year I get the same request. Cody, can you do something out of BNOG? Can you find something out of Big Nickel over G? Can you do something out of the 4-2-5 over G in the Chiefs playbook? And we have something for you in this video. We're going to be breaking down a Big Nickel over G defense that I really like right now, actually. It's really simple to run, and I really like the coverage aspect that you have in Big Nickel over G. Obviously, it gets a really good stock pass rush, so you don't even necessarily need a blitz, to be honest. It's got good run defense out of it. There's different types of pressures, and so we're going to go over some of those in this video. And also, the biggest thing with this defense is kind of up to you in terms of how you want to run it. If you want to have zone drop set, you can set zone drops. I think this defense is better without zone drop set. If they're killing you underneath, you're going to have to put your hooks on 5. But in general, I'm going to leave it on regular. I make sure option defense conservative. I generally, even if I have auto flip on with this defense, I'm going to run with base and line on as well. Now, the biggest thing here is, first blitz I'm going to show you is this Mike Strong safety 3. This is a 4-man pressure that is essentially kind of very similar to a lot of the 4-man blitzes in this game. So I'll show you kind of what it looks like. So what we're going to do to set this up is we are just going to pinch our defense or pinch linebackers, pinch D-line. You don't have to press if you don't want to, but I do like to press out of this defense. Now, the cool part about this Big Nickel over G defense that I personally really like is the fact that the safeties, when you press, they get into a really good position. So you have a full coverage menu. You can run cover 4, cover 3, cover 2, and the safeties will get to their depth really, really well. So what I like to do with this is I'm going to outside third this safety on the left side. I'm going to cloud flat this guy on the left side here, and then I'm going to man up the slot right there, just like that. And then I'm going to basically run it like this. I'll probably hard flat this defensive end here, but in general, what I like to do with this defense is I'm going to stand kind of over the center like this. And at the snap of the ball, you're going to see we're going to get this kind of 4-man pressure looping around that tackle position over there on the other side. Now, let's say they flip their formation. They flip their formation. You flip your formation. Again, you're just going to pinch your defense, and then you're pretty much set up pretty easily here. Again, pretty much same adjustments. And you can really do whatever you want with the coverages. That's totally up to you. I just want to show you that there is some ways to get pressure out of this defense. Now, the 4-man is 4-man, right? It's not 100% consistent, but it is pretty decent overall. Now, another thing that I like to do in terms of blitzing out of this is you can actually run, if you run this kind of pinch look like this, and you slant your D-line either side in QB contain, you can kind of potentially maybe get this defensive tackle to loop in off that outside. It's not super good in practice mode, but in game, it's kind of similar to the 6-1 style defense. You could try that as well. If you're trying to get pressure out of Big Nickel over G, that's something that you could 100% do. Let me see if I can actually get this to work here at least one time for you. But yeah, it's not super good in practice mode, but in game, that defensive tackle can kind of loop around. I talked a little bit about that out of nickel over as well. But in general, this is the Big Nickel over G defense. So anyway, but I don't really run that blitz a lot. I don't like it. I just feel like it's okay, but it's not like great. Lambo ran it in Madden Bowl, I believe. But in general, right here, this is kind of my bread and butter out of this defense. I really, really like this setup right here, this coverage right here. I think it's real simple, and it can handle a lot of different things. And also, if you want to send 3. So if you want to send 3 out of this, you can try to. If you want to send 3 out of this look, you can pinch your defense. So if I do this, I would definitely slant my line inside. So I'd slant my line inside like this. And then, we could do whatever we want with our coverage. But in general here, we're going to go with a kind of cover 3 cloud rotation. And you see it like that. We're going to send 3. And a lot of times, this guy will still loop around, didn't there. But anyway, you are only sending 3, right? In general, there's ways to get pressure out of this formation off of sending 3, sending 4. Now, when you want to start to really ramp the pressure up a little bit and you want to send 5, in my opinion, the best way to send 5 out of Big Nickel over G is to send it from the slot corner. So this blitz, where is it at? SS Blitz 2 is kind of my bread and butter for this. So we're just going to pinch our defense. And then, basically what I like to do here is we're going to make it look the same, right, as everything else we've been doing. In this case, we're going to send 5. I know that my responsibility is really the right side seam area of the field. On the left side, you could run a cover 4 defense like this. Another thing you could do is something like a cover 3 rotation like this, right? But in general, this send 5 is going to be pretty good as far as getting that that linebacker to come free. Either that linebacker or the slot corner will come free off that side. And if you want to, you can try to pinch and contain. The reason I like to contain is because the slot corner will take a little bit of a wider blitz angle, and sometimes you can get a B gap on that left-hand side. But in general, and you could also do this out of a cover 3 shell or a cover 0 shell. Those are up to you as well. But in general, this is kind of something that I would do if I was running this defense. You can also slant outside, kind of like more like a 6-1 type of look. As you see, we're getting that outside guy or that defensive end to be able to come in there. But anyway, this is kind of how I like to run big nickel over G. And there we almost got that B gap to be able to come in. So the best blitz, the best concept in this year's game, in my opinion, is sending 4. I really believe in send 4 this year. So one of my favorite coverages to run when I want to send 4 would be something like this. I actually like to bring it out of this shell. So what we're going to do is we're just going to outside third this slot corner. You can only do that if you use the stock big nickel over G adjustments. And then we're going to middle third the safety, and we're going to outside third this right side safety over here. So as you see, this is what the defense looks like. What I like about this 4-man is you're going to get good sheds because you're sitting 4, and then you're just going to be able to cover a lot of the field. It's kind of like a Tampa 2 type of setup in terms of how it practically works. So I think one of the best adjustments in this game is to put this slot corner into an outside third, and then from there you can kind of cover the entire field with something like this, and of course with switch stick as well. So anyways, thanks for watching the video. That is how I like to run big nickel over G in Madden 25. And if you guys want to take your Madden game to the next level or your college football game, make sure you join our school community. $10 gets you access to all of my offensive and defensive ebooks for both Madden 25 and college football.